For this presentation, what we're going to be doing is showing you mostly varieties of plants that we still have some really good numbers on. The customers are looking for something. We've got some really good varieties here to show you. Very first one is the knockout that started everything. It's the very first rose knockout. As you can see, we still have 6,166 of these still available. This is the single flower knockout, and it's probably still one of the best ones of all the varieties the series we have right here. This is like basically a full picture of what that variety will look like when it's in full bloom. And this is exactly the good prime time where you want the plant to look like when you're selling it. Jeff will trim these varieties. He'll trim them down to 6 inches when we're going out to ship them out the door. One thing I do want to remind everybody, if you have any kind of big rose order from 19 centimeters to 2 gallons or even 3 gallons, if you got at the beginning of season, try to let me, Jeff, and Lee, and Kelly know about it. That way we can get a crew on there to give them trim. At the beginning of season, Jeff will give Chiz a certain amount of number of varieties he wants to trim. So we want to make sure we get everybody, and we're not rushing at the last minute to get a lot of stuff trimmed. So if you know what, anyone's got some really big numbers, like in the 300, 500s out of the normal, if you just let us know about that as soon as possible, that way we can stay ahead of the game. Next picture, please. Now, this is the improve of the knockout. This is the double knockout. As you can see, compared to the other one, this is a double flower. This one we here shows in the 3 gallon. The picture you see that's on the left, we do a trim cycle. Well, basically like that, we'll have a total number. Jeff will trim 1/3 of it. And I believe it was maybe 2 weeks, we'll trim another, and then another. A quarter every week. Thank you, Jeff. It's a quarter every week. Basically, what the idea about that is what we want to do is we want to put all the roses on inventory and we want to basically keep them on. The great thing about that is we'll have a good rotation of crop. As you can see, that picture's on the top where you have it where it's trimmed and more of it's where it's about ready to go and then what's prime time to go. So what we do is we're trying to keep a nice rotation going on. The picture that's on the left is at the bottom. This is what the crop will look like when we first ship them out. They would do a light trim on them, and they would be around 6 inches from the top. Basically, what we're doing is just deadheading it and everything like that. But this is what they expect the crop to look like when we first get them going out. But like I said, double knockouts, we still had 19,000 of this variety still available. So that's another good order to pick from. Next picture, please. Now, this is the Rose Peach Lemonade. This is one of the newer varieties we have as part of the Bloomin' Easy series. We still have some good numbers of this variety as also too. Great thing about this variety is a good, I would say it's a good, another variety to pick from when it comes to a yellow. It reminds me of a sunny knockout, but yet it has a flower and blooms almost like a drift popcorn. What's great thing about this is that you'll get, as you can see the pictures on the right, you'll get this good series of different colors. A yellow, it will fade to a white, so then it will fade to more of a blush pink. So you almost get 3 colors in one variety. It looks like a sunny knockout, but it flowers like a popcorn. So you get 2 different varieties in one pot, which is a good variety for that. And this variety, it loves the heat. It starts off slow at the beginning of season, but once it starts getting hot, it will flush out quickly. We do have some good numbers of this varieties also left. And we sell this in a 2 gallon. Next picture, please. Now, this is the red bearing grass. It's another good variety. We still have 4,520 of these available. The picture you see is on the left. This is the idea when we begin that we wanted to be at the beginning of the season. When it started showing some good growth on it. Great thing about this is another variety. It loves the heat. Once it gets really hot, they'll have those red hues, like some tips on the grass, which more red, which gives the name henceforth blood grass. Great for landscape jobs, for filling up in jobs. And this variety is a hot variety and is always in demand. We grow a lot of this. It's ideal for landscapers, but something like that, keep in mind, because where sales are going, everything like that, you might want to let these customers know that once we put these on, you want to probably try to grab these as quickly as possible because it's a variety that goes very, very fast. Jeff does trim to grow a lot of it, so just keep that in mind. Next picture, please.
So I don't know too much about the trim cycles as far as perennials for spring, going into my first spring. So if you want to interject with what they look like as far as spring trimming.
No.
Nephita Walker's Low have a lot of them still available. There's going to be a lot more available once spring comes around for new canning.
And
Go ahead.
like Caitlin said, this is another variety that Jeff will trim almost 2 to 3 different cycles on this variety because they think great thing about necklace, they're very fast growers. It doesn't take long from a trim for this to come up and start flushing out in heat. So he does try to keep a cycle over this variety because it is a very hot variety for a landscape.
Thank you. A lot of people are getting more into pollinator gardens, trying to get away from regular lawns and landscaping. So this is a great variety for pollinating. Attracts a lot of butterflies and honeybees, and you can pretty much put this anywhere in your garden. It's supposedly deer, drought, and rabbit resistant, although a lot of people are saying that the deer are eating everything now. But you can always try for this one in a newer pollinator garden if that's what someone's looking more for.
It's also supposed to be known variety. The smell of it is supposed to keep away mosquitoes. My wife heard about that. She bought a lot of them, so working on that. So keep in mind.
And cats.
Yeah.
If you want a cat garden, go ahead and put that in your yard too. Next picture, please. We always have a ton of Francie and Patriot hosta. The Patriot is the newer of the two. Both look very similar. Similar variegation, green on the inside and a white or cream on the outside. You get a nice lavender flower with this one. What about trim cycle, please?
Mostly you don't have too much of a heavy trim cycle when it comes to hostas. Basically, great thing about this is once they start flowering, coming up with the new eyes, you do sell through them. Right, you did an excellent job this year. We only had maybe like a house and a half of hostas left, really. So you really did a good job, and hopefully you could continue doing that for 2022.
And next picture, please. The Serrata stigma plumaginoides. These are an awesome variety both in the spring, summer, and fall. These are going to tolerate a little bit of full sun. They're mostly a shade plant. They're going to bloom late summer. They're going to last through a fall frost. And I keep driving past this house even now still because they turn this bright red, even though they're a really good deep green color with a really pretty blue flower. The whole plant itself is going to turn bright red once it starts to turn into a fall plant. So you kind of get a double variety here. You get a 2-in-1. So you have a really good summer color, and then you have a fall attraction here as well.
Right here, we got the hydrangea Annabelle. Now, these two varieties, next picture I'm showing you, are coming from Long Road. Hydrangea Annabelle is one of the hot varieties we do sell here. Jeff does grow these as fast as he possibly can. This is the next crop we're seeing right here. As you can see right here, this crop is well rooted. I mean, it is well rooted, and you can see you got a nice, good foliage with this variety. The hydrangea Annabelle is more of a pure white flower, and as you can see the pictures on the right, is good for using them for natural borders or just single by themselves. I have this variety in my yard, and I can vouch for it. It is a great variety. Like I said, the stunning thing about this, for those dark areas in your landscape, this is a good variety you want to pick to just brighten up an area naturally. And we still have 8,000 of these still available. Next picture, please. Now, hydrangea incredible. This is the more the improved version of the Annabelle. It's the same characteristics, but the great thing about this is the flower. The size of this is almost equivalent to the size of a basketball. Look at the size of that beauty. It's pure white. It turns to like a light yellow hue to it. But once again, these are two varieties that are hot in demand, especially when it comes into the summer. Like I said, we still have 6,912 of these available. So you might want to make sure your customers know ahead of time. You want to grab these because landscapers love them. And it's like I said, if you wait, you're going to miss out on this great deal for this variety. Just something to keep in mind. Now, those are the two varieties we have. It's got some good numbers, and these are located at Long Road. And I believe that might be it for us.